can beat Swinburne, that puts them in a great position going forward.
Yeah, it absolutely would. But on the Swinburne side, a win right here gets them undefeated through the first half of the split. They'd be sitting 4-0, pretty confident with the lock-in on that top 4 position, especially going into a harder second half of the schedule for them. So a lot on their side, as well as we are already into our picks and bans. As you can see, a lot of priority picks taken away. I like seeing Yumi banned. I like seeing Ornn banned. Swinburne definitely getting rid of some of those big meta champs. And what was left open was the Senna, and that's going to be the priority pick for the Swinburne side.
Yeah, but it's really smart by QUT there, knowing that Swinburne does have an affinity towards that Senna Tahm Kench combo, to proactively ban the Tahm Kench out so that there is no chance for that combination coming ahead.
Yeah, I actually think they weren't going to be expecting the Senna pick with the Tahm Kench ban. So QUT, they're probably, a bit surprised by that, but they could be feeling pretty good. It does mean we're going to see an unconventional bot lane perhaps for the Swinburne side. Misfortune, though, still left up, and that's already kind of feeling like a winning bot lane for QUT. At this stage, I kind of want to see them go towards the jungle perhaps with their next pick. If they're hovering the E, I don't think we'll see that locked in for Janet, but you never know. We've seen some weird things in this tournament.
Yeah, you never know. It seems a bit weird to take... Yeah, that seems a bit more conventional. The hotbox combo that we've seen time and time again in this tournament. So a lot more conventional off the bat from QUT. I was going to say the Master Yi was a little bit out there. As much as I love to see out there picks, I think QUT needs to, they need to go back to basics. They know what works, and they just need to do it. So I do like the center pick, however, that being said. Senna is one of those very strong ADCs, but like you mentioned, it's going to be slightly more conventional, seeing as they don't have the Tahm Kench, and that's a Rumble lock-in.
Yeah. I mean, getting rid of elements of the hotbox for sure.
Yeah.
Curious where the Rumble's going, though, right now, because we're seeing a lot of mid-hovers, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a mid-Rumble. LeBlanc might be going Thyda's direction in this one. Thyda has been one of the stronger mid lanes, actually, so far in this tournament. Definitely has been a fun player to watch, but instead, last second swaps it for the jungle, so we will be seeing Lee Sin. Still could be Thyda on that Rumble. Now, recently, I was talking to some other casters out there, and we were having this discussion about what is the most powerful ultimate in the game. Like, in any given team fight, you're only allowed one ultimate. Which one do you want without fail? And we were struggling to think of something better than the Equalizer, and I'm curious what your thoughts is on that.
Yeah, is this a situation of it's a confirmed hit, or is this just in general?
What is the best ultimate in your opinion? Because
Equalizer.
You think you can't think of much better, can you? It's hard.
Equalizer. Shockwave.
Shockwave. Well, Orianna
Shockwave. I think that if you pilot that champion correctly and you have a good team around you, the Shockwave is arguably one of the most devastating ultimates to land. And you've seen time and time again world championships in high competitive games. When people pick Orianna and land, 4-man, 5-man ultimates, the teams melt.
Yeah, I mean, Season 2 World Championship, I believe it was Toys who hit that big one. Not what you said, though, was Petrifying Gaze, and that is the Cassiopeia locked in from Little Simo in response. So, I mean, that's still a powerful ultimate nonetheless, as we're going to continue through with our bans. Nautilus, Syndra taken off the board, so more mid-focused bans coming from QUT tells me that they're not believing this Rumble is going to be played by Thyda. Thyda is still probably going to be looking for maybe something a bit more assassin-y. Yeah. Swinburne, with this Senna right now, they're definitely not picking for late game, it seems. Like, Rumble's kind of early mid-ish. Lee Sin can be very, very aggressive, and I'm kind of curious now, what is the purpose of this Senna?
Yeah, because the thing with Senna is, unless you're playing her starving style, it takes a little bit longer to ramp up and get that scaling going. So they're going to have to either go like a hard aggression lane here and just try and kill MF and whoever their support's going to be over and over and over again to try scale, or they're going to have to play a very, very safe lane and try and stall. But like you mentioned, the team comp they've built so far does not tilt itself towards that direction of stalling out for 45 minutes. So it's going to be interesting to see, but like you mentioned, I think that QUT right now is in a much better position in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, again, Rumble with that flex can go anywhere. There are people in the chat who are saying this is going to be that big Rumble support for the Rumble Senna bot lane, and that is something I believe has been played internationally a fair bit, and it would make some sense. I've never been the biggest fan of the Rumble support personally, and well, maybe it's not going to be the Rumble Senna if the Cogmog does get locked in. On the other side, though, you do see the Bard. It has been taken by QUT, and that's a bit of a shocker as well. Misfortune Bard, That means, you know what? Just don't stand behind minions and you should be okay, right? In theory,
Yeah.
just don't get popped with the double tap and the cosmic binding. Xerath, in response, some artillery mages coming from Thyda. It's not the assassin I was looking for, but definitely a lot of damage can come from that.
And I think that's probably going to be the mid laner, if I'm being honest, because he was hovering the Kog'Maw, and I think he might have been tempted to go for that, AP artillery Kog'Maw that we've seen coming up a little bit, but I was almost expecting the center to be a support for a moment.
Yeah, there was a chance it could have been, but no, it will be the center rumble bot lane as that Aatrox will go up top for a GP, and that's a lot of damage coming from Swinburne. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to handle a Misfortune Bard situation. I'm hoping to get proven wrong every single time I've seen this. In like the few games I've seen with the center rumble bot lane, it just has not gone well. I feel like you have to be at top level to pull it off. But Swinburne is that undefeated team, so I'm going to be excited to see if they can make it happen. Malphite actually getting locked in for one Jirobi up in that top lane. Good answer to Aatrox. I feel like Aatrox probably won't be able to do much once, the armor starts getting stacked. And I feel like QUT has just really had an answer for everything that Swinburne has put down.
Yeah, currently there's all these picks that they've put out have just been neutralized in one way or another by the side of QUT. Bard is an incredibly powerful champion, especially with that with his ultimate. So, for example, he can theoretically ulti Xerath. Xerath's trying to get them snipes from outside the map. So yeah, right now everything's looking really good for QT, and the team fight especially with the Malphite, Jarvan, Cassio, just all of it combined looks like it's going to be disgusting if that lands, and the Wombo combo is real.
I hope everyone can see this right now. The cat has been pawing and clamped. Okay, there she goes.
Bye, kitty cat.
She finally, and she's still up. She's sniffing, wants to come back in.
She knows she's on camera.
Yeah, she knows.
What a star.
Oh my god. So normally I have to keep this door closed so I don't piss off the neighbors, but the cat is content to be halfway inside and outside at the moment.
Gotta love it. Gotta love cats.
You know what? You've decided you are inside now. Deal with it. All right. Anyways, that's it. We will be hitting the Rift very, very soon. I'm not going to let the cat hijack this stream upcoming. We've seen the team comps. We've made our predictions, and we're just going to be loading onto the Rift now. This is going to be a very interesting game for sure. I do feel that QUT, for the most part, has had answers. The one lane I'm worried about is the mid lane. Can Cassiopeia be able to find Thyda down on that Xerath? Does Xerath have that range? And as always, what will the jungle presence be? Elise Sin can be very, very fast. A lot of times even faster than Jarvan. So I do expect proactivity to be seen on this Swinburne side. It's all about whether or not they can execute it. And at 3-0, I pick against Swinburne week after week after week, and they always do surprise me. I should have learned by now. I'm still taking QUT, but any final thoughts on these team comps?
Overall, I think I'm not saying we're a part of the reason Swinburne are winning with the cast curse, going against them each time and them, showing us, but I think that might be part of it. But still, I've got to say, QT's team, I just feel, is better. If I'm going to be honest, the team comp just looks nicer to me. But then again, Swinburne have proved in this tournament that they are a team to be reckoned with, and that when it comes down to it, they can play good League of Legends on a competitive level. So, they have something up their sleeve, and I'm sure we're going to see them perform today as well. So, I think it's going to be a close match, hopefully. Yeah. But I think it's definitely going to be a good one.
I'm gonna call you out a little bit though. You're saying, QUT just that better team, they're gonna win, but you're not repping the shirt again.
I know, I'm not repping the shirt. I'm not repping the QUT. I thought I'd put my bias aside for a moment and try appear slightly more grounded in fact, even though they're 0-3. But
yeah, with the top laner actually. So yeah, Jirobi is definitely going to be something to watch. I'm wondering if we're going to see more focus on the top lane on that Malphite. I still like the Malphite into Aatrox matchup, so Jirobi should be pretty happy with that. But it's going to be a challenge when we get into it. Now we're still waiting to get onto the Rift. I do apologize. We will be getting there soon. I hope. I mean, I'm with everyone else on the stage. Eager, raring to go, and it's going to be a fun one in this. I have to ask though, Have you been having sort of like these longer load times in the games? Because I kind of feel like it's been a little bit of a. It's been happening a bit longer load times, and I'm worried if more heavy load because of more people using the internet.
Well, I think it's definitely. I've noticed it a couple times when I'm loading into some games that I'm like, oh, that's taking a little longer than usual. But I think that's just what's going to happen with everyone inside. It's good to see a lot of people playing. Steam today just broke their concurrent player record.
Wow.
So a lot of people are, in times of crisis, are turning to gaming, and that's a good thing to see.
Yeah, but what's a better thing to see is Summoner's Rift, because we are now on the map. As you remember, Swinburne, blue side, QUT, red side, 3-0 versus 0-3, and yet we all picked, QUT side to take it as up. A little bit of some
that's what we call a technical
there.
difficulty.
Yeah, a little technical. Just got to get the volume right, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh well. Again, it's just like last week. You gotta delay. You gotta let it simmer. Build that anticipation for the great match we're about to see.
Yeah, you gotta let the game marinate so that it it's just as spicy as you want by the end.
Yeah, and again, a reminder, QUT Blue 1. It is not QUT Blue 1. It is Jerobi. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the Tournament Realm shop to comply. And this is a Tournament Realm game, so that is where these people are playing on. So you have to think, only the best pink, best situations. And
Sorry, I was giggling at the cat reaching up behind you.
I'm so sorry about that. Outside you go. Outside you stay. You're done. You lost.
Sorry, I was trying to be professional for us there, but then I just see these two little cat paws reaching up behind your arm. It's like, oh boy, cat stream while we wait.
Yeah, this is some behind the scenes of what happens every time I'm casting here. This cat just loses it whenever this door is closed. She will be asleep on the opposite end of this apartment. And the second she hears that door close and I'm starting to cast, it's like, oh, now it's time to freak out over this door being opened or closed.
See,
just cat things.
My cats are being quite civil today and are just in the other room sleeping. Yeah. So lucky because they don't go outside. But hey, if anyone were to open food down here, it would be a madhouse.
Oh boy! I might have to crack a can of tuna later, just to appease the crowd. Especially, if things continue. I'm already in the kitchen, as you can all see. So
that's true. The crowd do seem to like the cat.
Yeah, if this turns into a longer pause, we could have some fun in that regards as it stands. So I will have to get my housemate's permission. It is technically his cat, and he is actually currently asleep at his desk. Anyways, so we're still waiting. Dude, RuneScape's a tiring game. That's all I'm going to say. It is mentally exhausting, but so is starting work at 6 a.m. And yeah, he has one of those high priority jobs, and trust me, it is high priority. So he comes home exhausted, and thanks to him, people are able to get some medicine that they need. So kudos to my housemate. You're allowed to take a nap at your desk in the kitchen. But hopefully we will be getting into this one momentarily.
In the meantime,
I'm ready to go.
I believe last week you mentioned how you finally got your name on League of Legends.
Yeah, I'm no longer formal Rito. I'm actually just straight formal now. That's actually a funny story. Thank you for talking about this. So yeah, for when I first got on League of Legends back in 2010 was Formal Riot. That was the name of my high school punk band. Nothing to do with Riot Games. Obviously, Riot didn't like that, so I changed it to Formal Rito when we had to switch from the NA servers to the OCE servers. I hated that name. I've always wanted to change it. About 4 years ago, I looked up who was actually formal to see if that existed. Found said person, jokingly accused him of stealing my name. We had a chat, and then 4 years later, he just messaged me out of the blue saying like, hey, I'm kind of done with this name. You can have it. And then boom, that's how I got my name back. I'm once again formal. So yeah, that is the story of my names.
What a nice guy, remembering 4 years later that someone randomly messaged him for the name.
Absolutely. It was a journey for sure. And now that's I'm just straight formal. Now everyone's going to look me up and see how bad I actually am at this game. So thank you for that. Yeah, my OPGG is not pretty.
Well, luckily for you, OPGG is down currently, so you have a little bit of time to change your name.
All right, so after this stream today, I'm just gonna
put a full stop at the end, or
no, we're just gonna spam some solo queue and climb. That's clearly the only answer, right? Iron today, diamond tomorrow. That's what they say. That's how it goes.
Unranked to challenger. Let's go.
Yeah, unranked to challenger challenge in one night, 24 hours. Let's do it.
That would be absolute hell, if impossible.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with the impossible side, considering how low my MMR deserves to be. I've never said I'm good at this game. That's all I'm going to say. So,
no.
How about you? How's your solo queue climbing been going?
It hasn't been for a while. I haven't played ranked in a couple of weeks, but last season I got to gold 1. I hadn't played ranked in a long time, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Thresh support, let's go. Got to gold 1 by the end of the 4th split. I only played really that last split. Yeah. And then this season I was like, you know what? First day 1, I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna start playing. I'm gonna start climbing. And then I did placements, and then sort of stopped.
Ooh.
Uni started, and I went, oh no.
Oh no.
So yeah, currently I think I'm sitting at like gold, not gold, like silver 1 or silver 2.
I mean,
but I'm gaining like nearly 30 LP a game, so it's okay.
All right, so the climb will continue.
I just have to actually play the game.
Yeah, sometimes that's the hardest thing is playing the game. I just am not a fan of solo queue. That's the be-all, end-all of it. I'd rather play with friends, and my friends don't want to play flex queue ever, and neither do I. Insert flex queue meme here, but soon we will be going on to the Rift. I would have to imagine. I wish I could tell you exactly what this pause was, but it hasn't been relayed to me just yet. I tried having a little look, so you don't know for sure. So hopefully we do get some games. We got that little tease before. We saw that the Rift is still there. It's still green and lush. The rains have been good. No drought on summoners, and I just want to see some action at this stage.
Yeah, we talked a lot about how that game was going, how the team comps were looking, and now the anticipation of seeing how that's going to play out is building.
Yeah, I really want to see this one. I mean, I have a lot of high hopes for actually Swinburne. I mean, I did pick QUT to win it, but I'm just thinking of the implications right here. Swinburne does get that win, 4-0 team. None of us actually predicted. Last time they came up to Queensland themselves, they came just short, unfortunately, of making it to that semifinal. So obviously this university was something to prove. They've done so thus far, and it would be heartbreaking to see them fall short yet again. And we're on the Rift!
Hey!
We made it! The tech gods have came through. We are here.
We have made it to the Rift. Oh, what a beautiful sight.
It is just those random rock formations in the center of it all. The generic line of scrimmage setup. We saw that Janet went ahead, placed a ward, got the sweeper. So we might be seeing some aggressive plays coming from this Jarvan. The same cannot be said for one Pinch, who's actually kept his ward, but it is a Lee Sin. You kind of want to keep that ward for some extra mobility. And here we go. The big debut in this tournament of the Rumble Senna bot lane.
Yeah, and they are technically still going a starving center, as you can see. The Rumble building the shield, whereas Senna's opted for the hook. So they are still going a starving center.
Yeah, very poke. Yeah, it's a starving center. It's just a starving lane. They're just going straight for that poke, but already kind of losing out on it. And Senna actually is, going to get those souls, and you can see Loki will collect some farm at time. I mean, your gold generation is still going to be quite high, so I don't feel Swinburne's going to fall too far behind in that bot lane, but the whole idea is you're just going to be focusing on trying to poke out, Bop as well as Entro pick, but the question is, will they be able to? So those first trades kind of emphasize. I still kind of feel like the early levels does favor QUT in a straight up trade, but as much farm as Swinburne can deny, the better they're going to be later on in this match.
Yeah, 100%. And, I think that at the end of the day, this is going to be really big for the Swinburne. Oh, we have a gank, a level 3 gank.
Yeah, Janet's already coming down, and also I was incorrect. Rumble is just straight up farming in this lane as well. So my apologies right there. Rumble is going to be committing to collecting as much CS as possible, but because of that ward, Swinburne are completely aware that Janet is nearby, and they do the smart thing and pull back. They obviously don't want to bait out a fight because they still will be outnumbered, and this recall should come through. It's just a question of how long they can pretend that Janet is sitting around. Fortunately for Swinburne as well, Pinch was heading more towards that bot side, and now they could be looking for a fight, although with that missile, they are aware Janet's missing, but Pinch is able to spot him out, does not connect with the Lucario or a Sphere, and so Pinch is going to have to settle for a Scuttlebug instead.
Yeah, that was actually a really big brain ward from, I believe that was Boppet, to place it right there. So even if Janet was going down, hugging the wall for the gank, his sweeping lens was not going to catch that. So really smart ward there. On the side of QUT to keep themselves safe there.
Also, just to quickly address the situation, yes, we are aware there will be no game sound for this first game. Again, we were dealing with some tech issues it seems like, and apparently the solution was to get rid of the audio. So by game 2, we should hopefully have it back, as Pinch is kind of caught in a pinch, but is able to escape just in the nick of time. So the faster jungle clear from Lee Sin, paying dividends right there, is able to get in, get out, and actually looking for something. The Aura Sphere connecting as Blue is thrown right back into a bad situation. Flash is used, so he's not escaping, and first blood goes to Pinch.
Oh, that's a bad start for Jerobi. First game of the day, and he's already taken a death. Yeah, really unfortunate there, deciding to push up. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. I'm just looking at that play, thinking like, well, how could that have gone any better? And it couldn't have gone any worse. So
yeah, I mean, I credit where credit is due right now for GP. He had the lane frozen in a very good spot, and you can see there's already a lot of farm denial going towards Jerobi. And by the time he's desperate to make something happen, there is a jungler there to punish him. But he should have known the jungler was around. They had spotted him just before, so aggressive positioning and maybe not the best communication has just really punished this QUT side. And Jerobi, he has a very tough match ahead of him all of a sudden, despite supposedly being the winning matchup.
Yeah, so unfortunately for him, they pushed up for the Lee Sin, and Lee Sin hopped back over into his jungle, but what that meant was that Jerobi was out of position going into that. The wave was frozen in an awkward spot for him, and GP was able to capitalize and just come around behind him. So really unfortunate start. Really proactive play, turning that jungle clear advantage into a kill advantage now on the side of Pinch, and Janet's now going to have to make some work around this map if he wants to fix things up.
Well, the idea is to go to that bot lane, but I don't think Janet is aware Pinch is available for the counter gank. That's a lot of damage coming from this Rumble, and here comes Pinch. He gets some damage back onto Entropic, who's forced to flash away, and Teleport actually coming through. Perhaps that was a bit premature from GP. It is going to put a lot of pressure on this Dragon, and QUT can't do much to stop this shove, and curious to see if they're going to look to fight for this Dragon. The Teleport can still be matched by Jerobi, who's still pushing that wave. Dragon has been started. They have been walking over wards, so QUT should know this is happening. They're positioning for this play right now. Leading the charge is Janet. Little Simo is there as well. They're looking to get into that pit. Pinch is going to have to use Loki's flash and hop over the wall in order to get out. And now Dragon priority back in QUT's side. That is Loki looking to back. However, Thaida has arrived to the scene. They're looking for this play. Here comes those barrage of, ultimates coming from one Thaida. He's not able to hit the back line. Teleport coming in. That is one Jerobi. He's not in the best spot, but he's still running in. The unstoppable force is available. Connects with Loki, and here comes QUT. They're going to find themselves the Rumble. Little Simo will be the one to fall, and that should be the Dragon finally going to the red side.
And that's the power you get from a Malphite ulti. Malphite ulti effectively, it's a point and click kill button for a team fight, especially at this level where they know what they're doing. So really good TP there, getting in position, especially with the new TP movement speed buff, allowing a relatively slow champion like Malphite to get in position very quickly.
Janet
playing with fire.
Gotta be.
I thought he wasn't going to smite it for a second, and I was like, "You're playing with some fire there, Janet."
Yeah, Dragonfire in specific, but at the end of the day, QUT, despite giving him that first blood in the top lane, Jerobi does bring himself back in a little bit. However, he is losing out on more farm. The assist is nice. More importantly, though, the kill did go to Little Simo, who I do feel could be that win condition for this QUT side as we get later into this match. GP should be able to keep shoving at this stage. However, as I do feel this lane has been pretty solidly won at this stage by this Aatrox, and that's going to be something that QUT is going to have to answer as we move towards this mid game.
Yeah, but luckily for Jerobi, at the end of the day, he's not opted for a carry top laner. He's opted for a tank engage top laner, so he can afford to lose the lane graciously.
Oh no. Yeah, this could be a tough situation right now as we're having a fight for the Rift Herald right now. Entropic is actually going to go behind for the flank, looks for the Cosmic Binding, but Pinch is able to jump over the wall and avoid it. GP going to use that Blasting Cone to escape. And now that is all 5 QUT members sitting around that Rift Herald, and it looks like they are going to press for it as they are making that play right there. Although the entirety of Swinburne is on the top side as well. And here comes the Gusinator, kind of using those sneaky little clouds. Loki in position, but does not have the Equalizer available yet. And that ultimate, I feel, is critical for the Swinburne side. They're going to try and poke and steal it, recognize they don't have the damage. They're going to rely on ultimates instead. That Rift Herald's getting quite low. It is secured by the QUT side. Janet will be the one who picks it up, and now QUT has to escape. Little Simo, the one with the low health bars, he still gets out clean.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate on the side of Swinburne there. Gustinator and Loki not hitting level 6 in time. That ultimate from Loki, the Equalizer, and the center ulti could have turned that fight massively in their favor, especially as we saw a lot of QT's health bars were pretty low by the end of that extended fight into the Herald. So if they had ulti, that could have gone very bad for QT. But luckily for Janet and for QT, they were in the
Mhm.
good position.
Yeah, and I have to give credit where credit is due right now. Loki on this Rumble did get caught out in the Dragon fight before. However, has been doing a pretty good job in that bot lane. I was, heavily leaning towards the QT side and taking it, but they've actually been pretty evenly matched. It's really unfortunate that Loki didn't have that level 6 at that moment. So it's still, QUT, despite the bot lane perhaps being a little bit behind. Their mid lane's been going well. They've had more map presence. They've got themselves that first Rift Herald as well as the first Dragon, and they are playing the early game quite strongly. That said, though, this is a very pushed up bot lane, and here comes Pinch. The Equalizer comes down, and Entropick steps forward. He's going to give his life to try and save Bop It in, but Pinch is still looking to dive and get that kill. That is so much damage from the Lee Sin. On the backside, Loki as well is going to find Entropick, and 2 kills going to Swinburne's way.
And that's the kick to kill from Lee Sin there, using the dragon kick to finalize that kill. Opting for, he's gone straight for the Caulfield Warhammer, so he is doing actually fair bit of damage. And you see, this is the impact of that Season 10 XP change for solo laners. You see that the top lane and the mid lane are several levels ahead of the bot lane. So in those team fights, bot lane has just been behind quite a bit in terms of ability. Oh, Simo.
Oh, good dodges. Good dodges. Stays alive. So Thaida unable to connect with those artillery shots, and that should be little Simo escaping, but he will be giving up some tower plates. That said, Thaida's got to be a little bit careful because Entropick is starting to run towards that mid lane. Might be looking for a cheeky play. And it's actually Pinch who's going to be getting caught out down in that river. I'd like to come down there, please, because there are 4 members surrounding him. Yet Pinch did go down as the attempt at the counter gank did not pay out for Swinburne.
I know, and in a pinch, he's gone. He's been deleted by 4 members of QUT as they're going to push this plate and try push an advantage here.
Yeah, the QUT continuing to try and shove on this mid lane tower right now. They can get what they can. The more important goal, I feel, at this stage is going to be that dragon.
Yeah. I think getting that next dragon is going to be really big, and I can't see what the next dragon is, but...
Ooh.
It's a mystery. Let's play a game. What dragon do we think it's going to be?
I want to see it be a Infernal Drake so we can get the Cloud Drake Soul, which is always my favorite, but I also like Infernal Drakes on the map as QUT. I mean, before the Dragon, they're going to go ahead and drop that Rift Herald in the mid lane. They're going to get more plating, but they have to be a little bit careful. Janet goes a little too deep and gets immediately disintegrated. Here comes the bullet time, though. It does force Pinch to go golden, and he stays alive, at least for now. Doesn't have a large enough shield as Bop It In is going to bob himself a kill, but at the cost of his life as the tower did so much damage back. Thaida, with the stun, was able to secure it, but he went too far forward, and now Little Simo's turning it right back. The Twin Fangs and the poison not enough to secure the kill as he starts shooting missiles right back at the QUT side. However, the damage has already been done. The tower is nearly gone. That's a lot of gold in QUT's favor, but because Swinburne has been pushing bot lane, they might be able to make a play on this Infernal Drake. Called it, by the way.
Called it. Yeah, that was actually, at the end of the day, that was actually a really good fight for Swinburne and a really smart one. Pinch knowing to go in there, get the kill, forcing...
Oh, Jerobi, that's not the bush you want to face check. Not right now. Here comes GP slamming and a jamming down on this Malphite who has that Bramblefest in the Ninja Tab. So is actually tanking a lot of this. The minions doing some help as well. I'm waiting for that unstoppable force, and it's going to be used defensively as he's able to escape the World Ender. And GP, that was a lot of damage. At the end of the day, though, both sides are going to recall.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what GP was trying to do. He was trying to force out that ultimate so he can TP into the bot side, get the kill there, and get control of the dragon. So therefore, Malphite is ulti-less.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see Bop It In fall, but GP off of that teleport was able to find the kill, and now comes some bot lane siege from Swinburne. This tower does not have a lot of health. There's no one really there to make the save. Entropick, already taken so low, is going to have to back out. Pinch still looking for it, connects onto Janet. Is he going to die for it? Nope. His body and mind were telling him no, unlike mostly Sins. That's A-okay, because the dragon is the larger priority goal. As you can see, the entire time is moving there. Little Simo as well, just continuing to get bullied by Thaida. It feels like QUT is just having nothing go their way after the first 8 minutes of this game.
Yeah, what started out as a really like a really good-looking game for them has ended so far quite poorly. They're down several thousand gold, 3 kills, and you are right. You saw the Infernal into the Cloud Drake.
Yep.
So we're going to get that coming online. And if we look at just the CS differences, especially in the mid lane, and even in the bot lane, Loki's got a sizable CS advantage onto Boppet on the Rumble, with Pinch leaving the game.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
no,
Pinch.
he's still there. He's still farming.
He still there? Oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe we just got trolled.
We got trolled. You got trolled. I didn't.
I got trolled.
You got trolled hard, man.
Oh,
you can't let him do that to you. That's how the players get the advantage, and then they'll punish you. Most baited caster, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. But that was really smart and intelligent play by GP earlier, getting that ulti out of Jirobi, forcing the defensive ultimate, and immediately teleporting in for that fight, knowing that they can push safely, group up safely without having to worry about the Malphite ultimate. Yeah, really smart play by them, and they got the dragon for it. So proactive play.
The kind of decision making that I've been waiting to really see from Swinburne. I feel like they've been winning a lot of their games kind of more on mechanical skill, but if they continue to play the map at that level, maybe this is going to be the team that challenges Sydney. And I'm starting to look at Swinburne finally with the respect this team probably deserves. I mean, they are having that lead 15 minutes in, looking to continue to be an undefeated team, and it's about time we start to treat them, I feel, as such. Meanwhile, though, QUT, they're going to try and fight back in, and that option is going to be Rift Herald, but Swinburne, much more aware, much more prepared this time. Loki in the thing is going to drop the equalizer, does a lot of damage to the Rift Herald, but is forced to go golden as Janet jumps on him. Everyone's jumping on him through the bullet time. The hotbox is there, but it doesn't do enough damage as Jirobi does fall. Little Simo leading the charge, trying to get the thigh up, but has to back away to avoid the stun pinch. He's low, but he's still looking to get back in as the Gustinator gets so much damage onto Entropic as well as Boppet in as they go ahead and take the magical journey to escape. Interesting channel that's everyone recalling from the QUT side. So a bit of a chaotic fight, but it's only 1-for-1.
It's only 1-for-1, and there we saw, the strength that the QUT team fight actually has there with the absolute deletion that is the J4 MF combo. They get the Herald there at the end, so they're they trade a tower, but I think QUT comes out of that in an okay position. I think they know that, Swinburne is ahead. They are ahead. They're going to be ahead. They've got to try and make these proactive plays to get around the map. So I think they're actually they're perfectly okay with the sacrifice they had to make there. Because I think, their game plan is going, it's getting there.
It's getting there. I mean, the one thing if I could be a little bit critical of is after Loki drops the equalizer, is he really going to be that priority target? I feel like Gustinator did so much damage on the backside as Janet thinks he has a catch on the Thida right now, but with Gustinator there, Thida's able to step back and actually is being turned right back around onto Janet, who's running for his life. Entropic does not connect with the Cosmic Binding as those artillery shots are so accurate. Thida finds the kill onto Janet, and Swinburne gets yet another kill onto the Xerath. They're continuing to assert the dominance in the mid lane, and now they're looking more up top. You can see everyone roaming there. They want to get that last tier 1 off the map.
Yeah, Thida playing his best, Swinburne sniper in this game, landing really good ultimates, and even his Qs have been incredibly accurate in that lane, forcing Little Simo completely out multiple times. So, the equalizer coming down.
Equalizer down, and Entropic's golden, but not in a very good spot. Yeah, that magical journey isn't going to take him magically to safety. He will fall as Swinburne continues to siege this top side, and QUT, they're just getting caught out time and time again, looking like they're trying to make some proactive.
The equalizer coming down.
Equalizer down, and Entropic's golden, but not in a very good spot. Yeah, that magical journey isn't going to take him
he just got caught out in reality. And there we see the strength. We've seen this before. The pressure that a J4 ultimate puts on you. If you don't flash, you die.
True, but that is a Cataclysm gone, and that's a key ultimate. So I do feel as if Swinburne can continue to push this top lane. They really only need one more auto to take care of this tower, and I don't think Little Simo is going to be enough to stop it. In come the minions. Do they get there? Whack, whack, whack. Yeah, minions get it done, and Little Simo unfortunately can't make the save.
Yeah, I think Simo was just trying to deny as much individual gold as he could. And I believe that Swinburne, they respected that. They respected that they could be prepping something else, and they opted to back off and let the minions take the tower. I don't think that the Cataclysm is going to be the end of the world. It is right before a dragon, which is unfortunate. So I think that Swinburne is definitely in a better position than they would have been, a couple of minutes ago.
I mean, when you have that equalizer available, and it's actually on a surprisingly short cooldown, you kind of feel like you can fight for almost any objective at this stage, as Pinch has backed away. So QT is going to be available to start off this dragon. The Herald was dropped in mid lane as well, so the longer Swinburne stay here, the more damage that Herald might be able to get down. Dragon dragged out of the pit, but it does reset at a kind of an awkward time. QUT steps forward to maybe try and re-engage it. Instead, they're clearing out vision as Entropic running away. Now, you do have little Simo up top. He has teleport available, but at the moment, it is a 5 versus 4 in Swinburne's favor. Dragon has been aggroed by Pinch. It is coming out of the pit. Are they going to commit to it? The answer is yes. So it's all on QUT to try and find that counter engage. Janet looking for an opening, but GP is waiting to cut him off. Here comes the Bard ultimate. It connects with 3, and GP still goes in. Numbers not in their advantage, but that's okay. Equalizer wreaks havoc on the backline, and here comes Swinburne. They're trying to beeline for Jerobi, who has to flash over the wall safely. The artillery shots do not connect, and Swinburne turns back onto the dragon as QUT are not available to fight this.
Yeah, I really think that Janet there was trying to stall out just a little bit longer, as you see Cataclysm just coming up for him. So you might be right, actually. That Cataclysm top lane might have just cost him that dragon, as it looks like Swinburne might be going straight for Baron.
Yeah, we're looking at that 20-minute Baron. Everyone on QUT, they're either bot side or resetting right now. They are not prepared to deal with this dragon at all. And with 5 members strong, yeah, it's only 20 minutes in, but they can still take this down quite quickly. Bobbin does have the bullet time, making it right in the bush, sees that it is clear. Are they going to go for that miracle steal? They should see the wards, should be aware. Here we go. Bullet time not going to be used in time, and Pinch is able to get that Baron, and that is Swinburne escaping with pretty much everything that they could want.
Yeah, no, Swinburne they've just taken every advantage and they've just grabbed it, and they are in a very good spot right now. Getting that Baron, getting that Dragon, they are perfectly happy with where they are right now.
Yeah, they just sit in nice and comfortable, an 8K lead at about 20 minutes with the Baron. They've gotten the past 2 dragons as well. They're going to be beelining for that Cloud Drake, which just means, equalizers at your whim. That's going to be GP, always on World Ender. Just terrible, terrible times for QUT if Swinburne are able to keep collecting these neutral objectives, continuing to put pressure on the map. And unfortunately for QUT, they got to rely on Little Simo, it feels like, in order to fight back into this. But he's gone for a very scaling build, as you would expect on a Cassiopeia. And I'm wondering if there's going to actually be enough time for Little Simo to really hit that full strength.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to have to see is, right now they've opted, like we said, for that tank top lane, the engage top lane. So they've really only got their mid lane and ADC, and we might be getting another fight here.
Yeah, we definitely might. I mean, Swinburne, they are feeling pretty untouchable right now. That said, Entropix are going to go ahead and make that a good golden equalizer throw down in response. It's not as good as its past ones, but the damage may have already been done by Janet, who tried to dive in too deep. The artillery shots do connect, and that is Janet falling yet again as QUT once more go for that desperation play, but they're unable to find anything. Meanwhile, on the other side as well, GP is continuing to push. He's drawing all the attention of QUT, who've all but abandoned this mid lane. Pinch actually getting taken quite low, taking this tower, but that's A-okay because they get that, and now Swinburne are knocking on QUT's door.
Yeah, and I think QUT really have to try put up a big defense here with the Malphite, because right now they're in a very bad position going into this.
Yeah, they are in a terrible one, it should feel like, as, yeah, that unstoppable force maybe can lead to some sort of wombo. You'd still have that bullet time up right now, but only an Essence Reaver on this MF does mean that it's not going to be doing as much damage as you perhaps would like. More minions are about to crash in. It doesn't look as if Swinburne is really in any hurry to recall and reset. They want to keep this siege going, as only Janet and Jerobi are currently there to eat these waves, so the mid tower will fall. Finally, the rest of QUT are there to arrive, maybe save the inhibitor. Entropic, he's running straight towards everything, but Loki holding his ground, temporarily invisible, as that actually might be a visual bug because he is super far away from that cloud. All right, Loki is back as GP continuing to seize the bot lane, and unfortunately that's where Jerobi is, so they won't be able to find that big re-engage. Meanwhile, Pinch and Loki, as well as Gustinator, most importantly, has made their way to the inhibitor. Entropic stepping out of the base, not finding much, and it feels like QUT is just powerless to stop the siege.
Yeah, right. It looks like there's nothing that they can do, as they're just getting peppered down by Thyda's ultimate, Gustinator's poke, and the Baron minions are just unable to be dealt with currently by anyone on QUT. So I think it's smart for Swinburne to take the one inhib back off. I don't think they want to double inhib that quickly, especially without a big team fight coming up. So I think they're going to potentially try and go for a team fight. As it looks like QUT trying to be proactive.
Gustinator could be in trouble, but the Cosmic Binding misses, flashing to avoid going golden, courtesy of one Entropic and QUT. They went for the play. It does not happen, so that does mean Swinburne will be able to reset unabated at this stage, get themselves ready for that third dragon, which you know they are looking for more Cloud Drakes for this blue side. QUT, they're in so much trouble.
Yeah, they're in a bad spot. But that being said, we've seen it in past games with, the Jarvan versus Senna combination. They blew the flash, so now next team fight, if Jarvan can get an ulti, a Cataclysm onto that Senna, there is nothing Senna can do to get out of that.
Except for the stopwatch that Senna has just purchased for herself. So
well, I think that's a very good idea for the Gustinator to get the stopwatch, because without it, there is no counterplay to what he can do there. So I think it's very smart getting that stopwatch. But then again, I think I'm putting too much. I don't know if it's faith, but I think we're putting too much, hope. Oh no, Simo.
I'm not feeling hope at all for QUT. I'm going to be perfectly honest, and that kind of encapsulates everything I feel right now. As Loki doesn't even care. He knows he's getting another Cloud Drake, so he'll just burn that equalizer. Look at the short cooldown already on this ability. It's already a quarter of the way back, and it was just used to get a pick on that mid laner. Bad times getting worse for QUT. Like, the equalizer is going to be up in every fight at this stage moving forward. I have to admit, I doubted Loki on this Rumble support coming into it. Everyone in the chat was kind of giving me a little bit of grief for it, and, deservingly so at this stage, as Loki has just been taking this game over.
Yeah, no, he's really been a big force for this team, getting the advantages that.
Yes, as the siege started.
It's down to like a 40-second cooldown, if that. Mm-hmm. So that's a big ultimate on a very short cooldown, and currently QUT has no way of countering their push.
Yeah, that is looking to be the case, as, Super Minions starting to pile in. Unfortunately for Swinburne, it's not synchronized with that bot lane, which is where they're putting a lot of their priority right now. Entropic stepping out of the base. He's going to be looking for something, really anything at this stage. One more team fight should end this game, but Swinburne, it looks like they're not willing to commit just yet, as they're starting to back off.
Yeah, I think Swinburne may just be trying to, farm up, either catch some people out with QT, trying as they may to get some advantage anywhere, try and make them make a desperate play and then punish them for it. Or they might even just be waiting and stalling for the Baron. Baron's about to come up as QT are, posturing that way, maybe aware that that's a potential Swinburne threat. So I think that they're just going to stall out for the Baron, take the Baron, bop it, resetting the red buff.
Yeah, that's a little awkward, and as a result, actually, their timing is a little bit bad, and that means Boppet can't step forward really to contest this Barret Vision, which is just going to go straight to Swinburne's way. Keep in mind, though, the top laners have decided to stay bot. 2 teleports are available, as Swinburne, their attention is being more drawn towards that Baron at this stage. I'm not sure I agree 100% with this decision. I would have liked to see Swinburne actually continue that siege, just because I feel like they are that far ahead, 10k. But if they feel like Baron is going to be that X factor that they need to seal the deal, well, that's what they're going to go for. I just think this adds another variability, perhaps, and maybe another element that QUT can find to steal and maybe get some momentum.
Yeah, well, they do have a GP pushing the bot lane, forcing Jerobi out of there, but I do agree that this is a potential problem for them. If QUT does get the steal, they suddenly go from a great position to a shaky one. I'd say
it goes from great plus to great minus.
Yeah, they're still in a good position, but all it means is that maybe they can't win the game in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, maybe it will be 5 instead, but as it stands, Baron has been started by Swinburne, and unfortunately for QUT, the only one around is Janet, who, all things considered, has had a bit of a rough day today. Maybe that Baron steal is what's needed to turn things around. Vision is semi on the big purple worm. I mean, QUT definitely noticed there. The rest of QUT has arrived, and Swinburne once again backing off, and we're starting to play this Baron dance that Swinburne, it's just slowing the game down, and it's giving Little Sima more time to kind of contribute to his scaling build, perhaps get more gold. The super minions coming into the base, they're just going to be funneling more gold to this QUT side. Swinburne, once again, starting up the Baron, forcing QUT to react. Janet is aware, just waiting for that right time to go over the wall, as Loki is down to half health. That's something that perhaps Swinburne needs to be careful of, and they're going to back away yet again, and I just feel this is so much time wasted for the blue side.
Yeah, but I think that I think they're almost intentionally trying to do this, give GP a chance to push that bot lane, but it's being held by Jirobi, who is pretty tanky at this point. He might not be an extreme carry, but he's an extreme tank, and GP has not been able to crack him. So I do agree. Yeah, they were trying to take that, and it looks like, oh no, Janet. I thought Janet might have been posturing to take the Baron, but I think they know that's a bad idea.
So you are the expert for this game. Okay. And I'm going to ask you a question because I am very curious on this one. The Catalyst pickup from Jirobi. I feel like that's something you want a bit earlier in the game, and he kind of got it kind of later right now. He just has a bunch of stuff, but no build going in any direction. Do you feel the Catalyst, I'm assuming that's going to be going towards a mask. Is that really what he wants?
Like, it's not a bad idea, but I do agree with what you said, that it seems a little late. He's got lots of pieces, but no finished. Entropic.
Yeah, okay. Loki leading the charge. That Flame Spitter just melting away at Entropic, who somehow stays alive. Those artillery shots, they're doing damage. A fair bit of it, actually. Entropic nearly does go down, however, is able to stay alive by the skin of his teeth. However, without the Bard, that is QUT a man down, and the Dragon Soul is about to spawn on this map. And I do not feel QUT can afford to give up this soul. However, they may not have a choice in the matter. You can see Entropic, he is racing as fast as he can to get back to this Dragon Pit area, but Swinburne have established a real lock on the river. It's only that tight choke point that they're going to try and push through, but Loki has the equalizer available, and every choke point could be disaster. Swinburne has started the Cloud Drake. Entropic is back in the fight. Dragon's going to get pulled out into the middle of the river. Vision is placed, so that does mean QUT have their eyes on it. They're going to try this steal. Entropic racing into the pit. The Dragon actually resets. Here comes the equalizer, but doesn't hit with anyone. All it's doing is zoning out Bobbit, but that could be enough. No one goes golden off of Entropic's ultimate. Loki might be the target for QUT, but they're unable to get to him. Here comes Pinch. He's going straight for the backline as the dive is coming through, but Pinch is already gone due to great kiting coming from Little Simo. Here comes the hotbox combo. Everyone inside goes golden. On the back line is one Jirobi, but he does fall. Thida, he's zoned out of the fight. Gustinator has to step forward. Does so much damage to Little Simo. Here comes the artillery shots. Little Simo sidestepping, stays alive as QUT actually win this fight 2-1, or do they? Because Thida is still looking for it. He's able to find Entropic as QUT has been separated. Little Simo on his own, so low, but on the other side, people are trading kills. This fight is chaotic across the entirety of the jungle, and it's a 3-for-3 when all said and done, or is it because Thida is still hungry? Little Simo on the opposite end of the opposite jungle finally is able to escape.
Finally, that fight comes to an end. As Gustinator, again, they're just going to hop back on the Dragon. As we mentioned earlier, Swinburne can afford to do this, whereas QUT have to fight these fights, and they're not. It looked okay, but they're just not going to win them.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's take a look at this replay and maybe try and make some sense of this one. It just felt like a fight on 3 different fronts at any given moment.
Oh, we actually have a potential steal here from QUT on the Dragon.
Oh my gosh, yeah, take a look at the Dragon right now. QUT, they forced Swinburne off it. They got the kill as well on to Gustinator. It looks like it will be picked up by Little Simo, and that is the Dragon's soul stalled. And QUT, they come out of a fight pretty equal footing. They get the soul. They take out the Senna. We could be looking at a future Baron, perhaps.
Yeah, it looked like Swinburne were stalling the Cloud Drake or something, and they left it a little too long without a sweeper lens. And Janet came in, the TP came in from Little Simo and Jirobi, and they punished Swinburne for maybe a bit of overconfidence.
Yeah, and I mean, QUT, they still have a long way to go, especially if Jirobi is just going to be walking straight into Loki right here. However, the Flame Spitter not doing too much. It was that mask build, as I was kind of suspecting before, and that doesn't mean Loki's Flame Spitter is just going to tickle this mountain of a Jirobi. And, good signs for QUT. They've gone for more scaling, and they're starting to scale. They're starting to get there. The Banshee's Veil picked up from Little Simo does mean a bit more survivability in these team fights. And I have to go back to the, about 5-6 minutes ago when Swinburne was in complete control and it looked like they were one fight away from ending it. They decide not to try and force the issue despite the 10k lead, and that lead is starting to shrink.
Yeah, no, it's starting to shrink. It's still at a very acceptable 7,000 gold, but they're in a position where QUT is starting to scale, like you mentioned. Jirobi is is pretty tanky. Janet's ultimate is always going to be useful, as we have Swinburne starting up the Baron again.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Another Baron attempt for Swinburne. It looks like they are a bit more committed, but GP is not there and does not have teleport, so I'm not sure Swinburne really want to force this fight as this stage. That does give time for Bobadin to rejoin his team, and now with both sides at full strength, the question is how long will this Baron dance last? QUT, actually, they're looking to recall perhaps Entropic. This could be a difficult time to reset. He was not spotted by Swinburne, who instead are going to go ahead and clear the vision in the pit, and both sides backing away for now.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much what this game is going to come down to. It's going to be a Baron dance for a team fight for some advantage. And then someone is going to get that Baron and they are going to hard shove with it. So I think that both teams are taking this very delicately as they know that this Baron dance could end very badly for either team. And, Swinburne is respecting that. And they know that QUT could turn this around. They've already taken a dragon off them. They don't want them to take a Baron too.
Yeah, the lead should just be so far in Swinburne's favor. You would have to think. I'm very concerned right now as, Baron priority. You can see QUT, they're forcing their way in, but they still have two members on the bot side of the map, neither of which with teleport. So if Swinburne were to collapse right there, that could have been disaster. QUT, I think, aware of that, start to back away from now. I feel the macro play from both these teams the best way to describe it has been close, but no cigar, or they're trying to do the right thing, but there's always one or two people kind of out of place. Entropic could be the one in this situation, but does not get caught.
Yeah, no, I can see what you're saying there, where they're trying to do something, but no one's in just the right position to be able to do that. And I think Swinburne, yes, they have that 7,000 gold lead roughly, but I think they also know that, and they've seen the strength of QUT's team fight, and they know that if they screw up once in this team fight and they get Malphite ultied into Jarvan into the hot box, it's not going to go well for them. But that being said, Swinburne has to remember that they also have a very good team fight. They've got the Aatrox, they've got the Senna, the Rumble. They have a very confident team fight, and they need to remember that they can utilize that.
Absolutely. I mean, Swinburne, they also, because of those individual leads, they also could try and possibly spread the map as well. Thido does have teleport available. GP is going to have it very, very soon. And to avoid QUT's Wombo combo, just split them up. Don't look to force that 5v5 fight. And it just feels like Swinburne haven't been able to do that for the past 15 minutes of this game. And as a result, QUT has been able to stall and fight back into this. Moving forward, though, QUT, I also need to see them maybe make something happen, and this could be that play, the magical journey coming into effect. Ooh. They avoid the vision entirely from the Scuttlebug, and this could be a blind Baron going in favor of QUT.
And this is what we're talking about, by the exceptional play, knowing what they can and can't do, taking advantage of the vision. And this is what we were saying Swinburne needed to be worried about, was QUT making a proactive play like that gets them that advantage. And now QUT, yeah, they're still behind, but now they don't have to worry about a Baron empowered waves pushing down their base again.
And more importantly, they can actually force this 5v5 fight over the Dragon Soul because there aren't two objectives that they will have to worry about. The only thing kind of going against them might be waves pushing, but even then, it won't take long for things to go back their way with those Baron-empowered minions. That said, Janet nearly getting caught right there. That could have been disaster for QUT as they are looking to possibly stop this Baron or Dragon attempt, I should say. Dragon was dragged out of the pit, and Gusinator is going to continue working on it, but Entropic and Janet are looking for that flank over the wall. Dragon's quite low. Equalizer actually gets Entropic out of the fight, but he still makes the Dragon go gold and buying time press for QUT to come in. Big ults down the middle, but the Dragon and the Soul is secured by Gusinator as the fight is underway. GP in the middle of everything is the first to fall. That is Pinch going super deep, trying to get Gusinator out of the fight as Little Simo does the same, but gets caught out by Pinch. In the end, they do trade. QUT retreating into this jungle. They're 4 strong. They've won the fight. There's the delayed Cataclysm. It catches Thido out. An ace for QUT and a triple kill for the Bard of all people.
For the Bard of all people. This is what we were talking about. We mentioned that, Swinburne had that early game team, and like we've mentioned, once he chucks down the equalizer, Loki hasn't really been able to do much in these fights, and he's just dead weight.
And the unstoppable force on the Gusinator as well, which forced out that flash, and he was just zoned out of everything. Gusinator, I'm sorry, not Gusinator, from Jirobi, I should say, but yeah, Jirobi zoning out Gusinator. I feel Jirobi had such a rough start of this game, but he came up huge in that instance. I did see Twitch chat was saying players are win the game. Well, it kind of feels like that's what happened. Janet has to be very careful here. Nearly goes down. That is the mid tower falling. The base of Swinburne has been cracked. 38 minutes in, and you feel like momentum has finally shifted to this red side.
Yeah, it's finally sort of started to turn around. Now they're only, a K behind, if that. they're quite close. They've caught up. Like Swinburne still has that Cloud Soul though, and that's what we need to remember.
Mhm.
But even so, the Cloud Soul, as good as it is not the end of the world. The main thing that QUT has to respect is the fact that they still have that, the 30% cooldown reduction on their
Yeah.
ultimates. So Swinburne can force fights, force ultimates, and they can do it a lot faster than QUT can. Even so, I still don't think this puts QUT in enough of a position to really capitalize. They didn't end up getting that inhib mid lane, so currently they still have no hard pressured lanes, as we might be seeing a bit of ARAM coming in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that looks to be the case right now. There's not much Swinburne can really do to sort of stop this push right here, because even though you have that Cloud Dragon Soul, you're not rarely going to see two ultimates in one fight, and in a straight 5v5, I like QUT Equalizer just thrown as a bit of zoning. Now we do get to see, that Cloud Drake come into effect. As look at the little ultimate icon next to Loki. It is just spinning so fast, but it might not be enough. Entropic not able to connect, unfortunately, for himself, as the QUT push does continue on. Each side down an ultimate at the moment. GP looking for that flank. Maybe that's the play to save the inhibitor, but QUT does not have any minions, so they can't stick around for too long just yet. Finally, the minions start to come in, but the Baron buff has worn out. That said, inhibitor still the target. QUT still like their team fight. There's the second equalizer as Loki goes in, perhaps a little too deep, but QUT does not want to pull the trigger, so Loki is able to get out for now. Kind of a bit lucky. Pinch was looking for that dive, does not connect with his Lucario Aura Sphere. Here comes those artillery shots doing a lot of damage. Rooted in place is Entropic, but takes a magical journey. He still might go down. The snipes are real, and Thida finds the Bard, and now QUT is running for their life. Gussinator trying to lead the charge with Loki. They're not going to find too many others. You can see the pinks going down towards the Dragon Pit, actually, as that could be where QUT wants to maybe mount a sort of counterplay. They've got themselves in the safety of a bush. Do we see that flank, or does Swinburne just keep walking straight down the mid lane? Actually, Thida's looking to reset as Swinburne gets their push on.
Yeah, Swinburne trying to capitalize here, get a push down, but I think definitely this Elder Drake is going to be a big thing for both teams in reality. Swinburne, if they can get that, are going to be massive, and if QUT can get that, they're going to be in a very good spot. So I think this is going to be big.
Yeah, teleport from Thida will get him back in. Equalizer just straight down the side right there. That's not even going to hit the minion wave. So the inhibitor for QUT is going to be saved. I like the attempt right there from Loki. It was kind of a 50-50 whether or not he'll hit the minions. Misses out, so unfortunate for him. That should mean perhaps some resets at this stage, as no neutral objections are coming up just yet. Two exposed inhibitors in the mid lane. Swinburne's going to go ahead and get their vision around that Elder Dragon. And if you had told me 20 minutes ago that this game would be going 41 minutes, I would not have believed you, considering the lead Swinburne had, but that 10k lead has now dropped down to 2.
Yeah, QUT has really done well to drag themselves back from the, pretty much the edge of defeat. And I think that's what we've seen in this tournament so far. Even in the games that they lost against teams like UCID and UNSW, they fought for everything that they had. Every advantage that they got, they fought hard for, and that's what's happening here. And I really like how QUT is playing, as Pinch is potentially in a bad spot.
Yeah, Pinch does have the ability to ward hop, though, and we'll get out of that one in time. However, that is, map control around the Baron Pit, which is spawning in less than a minute, going QUT's way. It could be another Baron for them. Now, you have to remember how they got that first one. It was a complete, Metal Gear Solid-esque stealth mission. That said, though, they're not looking to stick around the Baron. They're actually looking for that flank play as Entropic. He's that bait. Swinburne, they are aware something might be up. Equalizer actually goes straight through the middle of QUT, and that is a lot of damage onto Janet, who has to try and flag and track away. Good use of sidestep, dodging a lot of that damage, but Loki is trying to burn Jirobi out of it. We've seen how this goes before. Jirobi should be fine. Little Simo actually could be caught out. He's the closest one to Swinburne. A lot of damage, but not enough to put the snake down. On the other side, we're seeing desperate recall, separate resets coming from QUT. This inhibitor is most likely going to go Swinburne's way, but what more can this blue side get? Gussinator leading the charge, trying to bop it in. Janet's going to return the fight. The equalizer slows bop it, but doesn't get the kill. It does force out a bit of healing. That did come from Entropic. It wasn't the heal itself, and that is a critical inhibitor going Swinburne's way, especially with Elder Dragon about to hit the rift.
Yeah, and GP again, second time this game, they're going for a death bush.
Oh, this could work. However, the Deathbush target's going to be Jerobi, who's actually quite tanky. Entropic looking for that flank, but Janet's going straight down the middle. Gets two within the Cataclysm. Both flashes has to be used. GP in the front line. Unstoppable Force, though, gets onto Thida, but Gussinator is doing so much work for the blue buff side, and he is just autoing people away. This fight is being fought on three fronts right now, and it does appear to be going in Swinburne's favor. Thida, though, is on the run from Entropic as Gussinator rejoins the fight. Pinch on the other side is just taking people out left, right, and center. He gets himself the double kill. The snipes from Thida are good. There is the ace. Do they have enough dough to end this game? I think they do. Swinburne may have just held on to their undefeated record.
Yeah, and that nearly went very badly as they went into the choke point with a Malphite ulti coming up, taking two on the back line. But at this point, it was too little too late for the side of QUT as Swinburne. Look at the healing on GP there. Just going from no health to full health, as that will be the game for Swinburne